Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia and this is The Feminine Fancy. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new, guys, I'm so sorry. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. It's been a really crazy time in my personal life right now. And if you want updates on what is going on, then just head over to Patreon. That's where I keep you guys as updated as I can when I go on these little sabbaticals sometimes. So I will leave the link to my Patreon in the description box below if you want to know what's been happening. In today's video, I thought that it would be really timely and really apropos to talk about femininity. We have not had a chat about just good old-fashioned femininity in a really long time, and I feel like now is as good a time as any to talk about it. From what I can see, there's just a lot going on, a lot of people making decisions about women, making decisions without women's input, making decisions on how women want to be referred to in terms of being people, you know, being the people who bring life into this world. And it just feels like there's a bit of erasure going on. There's a bit of like wanting to erase womanhood from society. And I don't know, I don't think I'm being dramatic, but that's what it feels like. So I figured now is as good a time as any to talk about femininity and to just have a good old-fashioned chat about womanhood. And so today we're going to be talking about how we can honor our femininity. I made a blog post about this last summer, which I will link down below so you can read that if you like written content as well. And so now I feel like it's appropriate to make a video just given everything that is going on in the world today. So if you're interested in this video, if you like my channel, if you're here for chats about womanhood and femininity, and also like so many other fun things, lifestyle, decor, homemaking, hosting, all of those things, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, join our online community, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this topic. That just helps me know what you guys are interested in, and then I can make more content around the same topics, and everyone wins. Everyone's happy. Before we continue, I have to thank our sponsor for today's video, which is Walmart. So now that spring is in the air, Walmart is bringing you everything that you need at affordable prices to really enjoy the season. Walmart helps everyone get a great deal on just whatever you're needing for the spring season. So whether that is a nice light sweater like the one I am wearing today or a sundress, Walmart has honestly got you covered. And you can save on the most wanted spring picks of the season. So like I said, I got this super cute like lavender bubble sweater from Walmart. I was out this morning just running some errands, I was buying some makeup, and I was getting so many compliments on this sweater. And one young lady who was ringing me up was like, I never see anyone wearing lavender. And I was like, you know what? You're so right. I was like, I got it at Walmart. So I got this really cute sweater. I also got a beautiful sundress that I wore to a show the other night with my mom. We went and we saw the Dance Theater of Harlem. Amazing show if you're able to see them. And it was the perfect dress for an evening show because it's black, it has these beautiful yellow flowers, and I paired it with a nice jacket and some shoes, and I looked just spring but evening ready. Walmart also gifted me with an electric tea kettle. If you guys know me, you know how much I love drinking tea, and I cannot have enough tea kettles, especially electric ones, because the one that I have been using for the last year recently broke. So this was perfect timing. Walmart really has everything you need, from garden essentials, kitchen essentials, and staples for your wardrobe. Walmart helps you save on most wanted spring picks to celebrate all season. Make sure you click the link in my description box below to shop for everything that you will need for the spring season from Walmart. And thank you again, Walmart, for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump into the 8 ways that we can honor our femininity. The first one is that I think it's really important to live authentically. I've been talking about this a lot with my mom lately. We've been having conversations about this a bunch over the last few weeks. And that is the ways in which, as women, we can sometimes lie to ourselves and the people around us, honestly, about what we want, especially in romantic relationships. I find that sometimes as women, because we're so afraid of being alone, or because we, don't want to rock the boat too much, oftentimes we will just kind of like, and I don't want to say lie because that just sounds so harsh, but like we will be a little bit we'll be inauthentic about what it is we really want out of a situation with a romantic partner a lot of times. And this can even apply to friendships as well, which if you haven't already, go watch a few of the videos that I've made recently on friendships. It's so important to live authentically. It's so important to just live in a way where you're honest with yourself and you're honest with the people around you. I have found in my life that when I don't live authentically and when I'm not honest with myself and I'm not in alignment with my desires and the things that I say that I want want, I can start to feel very bitter and very hardened. And you'll kind of notice it, you'll feel it in your body, that you start to just have this energy of bitterness because you're not being honest with yourself and you're not being honest with the people around you. What ends up happening is that sort of like soft and welcoming and warm feminine energy starts to kind of decrease, because now we've got these walls up. We've got these hardened walls and these feelings of bitterness that we really just don't want to have. So whatever your truth is, you have to accept it and you have to live with it and be honest about it. I promise you, being honest about what it is that you really want is never going to go poorly. Like it might in the short term hurt you, because like, let's say you really want to be with someone and you know they don't really want to be with you, or they're stringing you along, and so you're kind of just like tiptoeing around the subject and not being authentic and telling them what it is you really want. In the short term, do you get to be around that person? Yeah, sure. But in the long term, you are neglecting yourself. You're neglecting what you want and your desire as a woman, which is to experience closeness with someone else. And if that's not the right person for you, then that's not the right person for you. And you can find I should have closed the window. You can find and experience that closeness with someone else. I think we can also start to get confused about what we actually want because of social media and what social media tells us we should want and what our lives, should look like, and not actually know what it is we actually want and how we want our lives to look. I was talking with Kane recently because we have this trip planned. It's gonna be a beautiful trip and I'm really excited that we're going on it. But we planned this trip at a time where I think I felt like, oh, this is what I have to do. Like, I'm young, I'm still in my 20s, I should be traveling, I should be doing all these things. And now, a year after planning this trip, I'm kind of like, oh, this sounds exhausting. And that's what happens when you make plans and you decide to do things based off of, what looks good on social media or what you feel like you should be doing, even if it's not authentic to you. It's not authentic to me to want to hop on a plane for 5.5 hours because I hate flying, right? But in the moment of, oh, well, I think this is what I should be doing because, before we get married and, if we ever decide to have kids, like I want to have these experiences. Now looking back, I won't say that I regret this decision. I definitely wish I would have waited to make this decision about going on this big trip, because I don't feel like sitting on a plane for 5.5 hours. I don't feel like going to the airport. I don't like the airport, right? And so there are all these things that are very authentic to me that I dislike, that I kind of shirked away as a way to sort of express this youthful feminine energy that I still have, but is now kind of being tapered towards something different, right? Like towards marriage and, married life. And there's other exciting things that we're going to do. It doesn't have to revolve around travel. So that's just one example of living inauthentically. And I would just encourage you that if you're making decisions from an inauthentic place, or if you are deciding to do things based on what you see on social media or based on what you think you're supposed to be doing, take a step back and really ask yourself, is this what I want, or is this what I think I want? Is this what someone else has told me that I want, right? Like, is this the life that I dream about when I go to sleep at night, or is this a life that I see someone else have and it looks good on them, so I want to try it on me, right? One of the phrases that I really like that I heard, I forget who the creator's channel is, but she had this phrase where when she sees a woman doing something exciting that looks like, oh, I should be doing that, she has a phrase that she says to herself, good for her, not for me. And that's something that I have implemented into my life, saying good for her, not for me. Just because something looks good on someone else or it looks fun when they do it doesn't mean that it's gonna feel the same when you do it. So you really have to take some stock and awareness of, what's authentic to me? What do I actually like? And write those things down, journal it down, and have a moment to genuinely ask yourself, what is it that I want? And also don't be afraid to vocalize those things. Don't be afraid to tell a relationship partner like, hey, I would like a commitment from you, and if that's not something you can do, let's just cut ties and go our separate ways, or whatever you decide to do. But don't be afraid to vocalize your desires and the things that you want if they're coming from an authentic place. Next way to honor your femininity is to create a sort of schedule around your menstrual cycle. So I've talked briefly about cycle syncing here and there, and I will be completely transparent with you guys. I have not dove into it in the way that I would have liked, and in the way that I started to last year. This year's been super crazy. It's like the year started, I had 1 month and then I injured myself and whatever. So I haven't been able to jump fully into it, but one thing that I did re-implement this past cycle was that I went off of social media during the days where I bleed. I don't know how else to say that. During my menstrual days, I am off social media. I've talked before, either here or on Instagram or my blog, about how I am super emotional during that time of the month, and I don't want to be, everything is inflamed during that time of the month. My body is inflamed, my emotions are inflamed, everything is inflamed. And so I don't want to, I don't want to make that worse by seeing something that might make me upset or that might anger me. I really try to just be with myself during that week. And that's something that I really like. It's really, really nice. If you guys haven't tried it, I don't know why, but there's just something so cathartic about just going off social media during your time of the month and just doing little crafts, going for walks, cooking really nutritious meals for yourself, spending your time doing things that are going to make you feel better during that week, as opposed to just laying in bed eating, Cheetos and scrolling. So if you can create a routine around your time of the month, that is an amazing way to honor your femininity. This is an experience that it's really interesting because so many women have this experience. I know not all women have a period, but many of us do. And so it's something that really kind of connects us and bonds us as women. This is something, if I'm somewhere and let's say my period is a couple days early and there's another woman there, I can say, hey, do you have a tampon? I know this is too much information, but it's a bonding experience. It's something where we can talk about it, we can laugh about it, we can cry about it. It's really kind of beautiful that we all have that shared experience. And so when you create a routine around it and when you really choose to honor that week, I think that's a really great way to honor your femininity and to be in tune with your body and with yourself as a woman. Okay, the next way is to schedule time with yourself. So I talk about this all the time, and I hope I don't sound like a broken record to some of you guys. I'm sure that I do at this point. But really, it's so important to schedule time with yourself, whether that is a luxurious bath time, whether that is a walk, or maybe you just take yourself out on a date, take yourself out to dinner, learn a new craft. I'm in a pottery class right now. And let me tell you guys, I don't like it. I don't like pottery. I don't like it. I'm glad I signed up for it because I feel like now I know. And I'm sure there's a threshold that you have to get over before you start really enjoying. I mean, there's a threshold with all new skills where you have to get over before you start really enjoying it. But I don't like this. But I like the fact that I'm spending time with myself. I didn't sign up with a friend. I didn't sign up with Kane. I just went and I'm there. And I'm a solo act there, and that's a time for me to spend time with myself. I mean, it's also a communal experience because there are other people in the class, obviously, but for me, that's one of the ways that I am spending time with myself. And I get so excited every Tuesday. I'm like, okay, I'm going to this pottery class. It's not my favorite thing, but I'm learning something new and I'm spending intentional time with myself and getting to know something new about myself, and that's really fun. So schedule some time for yourself and maybe sign up for a class. It's worth it because you get to learn new things about yourself, like that maybe you don't like pottery, like I don't. The next way to honor your femininity, and this is probably my favorite one on the list, is to surround yourself with beauty. I am so honored and I feel really cool when I get comments from you guys that are like, oh my gosh, your house, your apartment is so beautiful, your quilt is beautiful, I love the French doors in your apartment. I love all of those comments because I really, truly am intentional about surrounding myself with beauty. I just think it's so important. I was watching a TikTok the other day and the creator was talking about how we don't talk enough about how the environment that you live in affects your mood, affects your day-to-day life. And so for me, surrounding myself with beauty is it has to happen. It has to happen because it makes me happy. It brings me joy. I like walking into my dining room and seeing the fresh flowers on the table. I like that everything is in this kind of I don't even know, Victorian-esque kind of theme, which I did super intentionally. I'm really I really take a lot of pride in making my environment beautiful because I like to be in a beautiful environment. And I think as women, as feminine women, that's something that we can do really easily, right? Like it doesn't take a lot. You can put together a little bouquet with flowers from Trader Joe's, or if you can throw up some wallpaper or a fresh coat of paint, or you can put up pictures and mirrors, and like there's so many ways to beautify your environment. And I think that one of the ways to honor your femininity is to take time to do that. And don't think that you have to have this perfect, beautiful apartment, or it has to be TikTok worthy. It doesn't. It just has to make you feel good, make you feel welcome and warm. You want it to be cozy, you want it to be beautiful, you want it to smell nice, and that's something that you can do no matter where you live. Okay, next up, this is a really important way that we can honor our femininity, and that is to honor your body and to love your body. So summer is coming up, swimsuit season is coming up, and if you're like me, if you have a past dealing with any sort of disordered eating, this is a difficult time for you, as it's a difficult time for me. If you struggle with body dysmorphia in the way that I do, this is a difficult time for you in the way that it's a difficult time for me. But I am working really hard to accept the ways in which my body has changed and to honor the ways in which my body has changed, because the fact of the matter is, as women, our bodies change so much. There's so much going on all the time internally and externally. We could be slim as a board for 20 years and then one day wake up with hips. That's what happened to me. That's okay. It's okay if our bodies change. It's okay that we don't look exactly the same as we did, 5-10 years ago. It's okay, and I think it's beautiful, and I'm really working hard. This is something I am always going to be working hard at. But I'm working really hard on accepting the different changes in my body while acknowledging that it is important for me to also be healthy. Am I doing as intense of cardio as I was when I was in ballet and modern and jazz classes every day? No, I'm not. And I might never be again, and that's okay. And I think that as women, it's really important for us to shun what society tells us about needing to fit into a certain size all the time for our entire life, like that we're always gonna be a size 2 or a size 0 or whatever, and welcome the change and honor the change, because like the progression of being a woman, of going from young girl to young woman to mature woman, is really beautiful. I love watching it happen to other women, and so it's a really beautiful progression to see and to experience. And so I want us all to welcome that change as much as we can. All right, my loves, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what is your favorite way to honor your femininity. I would love to hear about it. You can find me on Instagram at _thefemininefancy_, and you can still find me on my blog at thefemininefancy.com. I hope that very soon I will have very exciting news for you, so stay tuned about that. Thank you again to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. You guys, like I said, don't forget, they have everything that you need to enjoy the spring season, so I will leave the link in the description box below. If you haven't already, please hit that red subscribe button. I cannot believe that we made it to 200,000 subscribers. Like, what? And now I guess the goal is 300,000. I guess we're just gonna keep trucking here. We're just gonna keep doing it because I'm here and I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.